good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in. And we are going to read today from chapter, I guess it's 9 to 10. Yeah, so we are going to read the chapter 9 to 10 today, and it's day 20. So we completed even set of 10 days. I'm not seeing this as 20 days, I'm seeing this as set of 10 days, because it makes me feel that the thing that I'm doing is a lot easier. Yeah, I don't feel that it's so much hard. This 30-day reading challenge, it's okay. I quite like reading the book, so it's not really a problem. So yeah, let me just set the mic to correct level. Yeah, right. Okay. So weather today is pretty good, and I can see a portal happened in the sky, as if a spaceship is going to come out of the specific portal. And yeah, this happens because the sunrise didn't happen yet in Kolkata. Uh, yep. So let's just read with this great weather in front of my eyes. So we're going to start from the chapter 9, which is blame instinct. Okay. Okay, so before guys I start reading this, I'm gonna check that how many pages that we need to read today. So that will be 204 to 204 to 243 to 42. Okay, so it's almost 39 pages that I 38 pages that I need to read. And that's very small number. Let me share this event on my Facebook page. So if anyone is following me on Facebook, they can obviously follow the stream. Yep, it's posted. So yep. There is this amazing story about big pharma companies. So the chapter is the blame and instinct. So I hope that everything is fine. Okay. So what really happens in this here, the story goes like this. So Hans Rosling was you know in he was giving a lecture in Karolinska Institute, so where he said that how big pharma companies are actually doing nothing in terms of the malaria and sleeping sickness and other illnesses. So a student in front get up and said that let's punch them in the face. So he said that the author said that okay, I'm going to Novartis. This for Novartis is a big pharma company. So he said that okay, I'm going there. So tell me, who should I punch then? So then so is it just anybody that actually works there? So the student said that okay, punch the boss in the face. So Hans Rosling said, "Okay, Daniel Vesela, you're talking about. Okay, I'm going to meet him. He's the boss of the boss of there. He's the boss there. So I'm going to punch him in the face, right? So do you think that everything will be okay after that?" So a student further back replied that no, you should not punch the boss in the face. You should punch the board members in the face. So then the author said okay, fine, then I will after my, because I need to give my lecture in front of the board members, what I will do is after at the evening I will find as many board members as I can, and I will punch them down, because I don't have any martial arts skills, so I won't be knocking, I won't be punching more the 3 to 4 more than that, because there will be guard, they will come back to me and stop me, right? Then a third student said that nobody is a public company. It's not the boss who actually decides that where should they put their money or put their money to research on. So it's the shareholders that decides that where their money should be going, right? So yeah, so that's the thing, right? So there is nothing wrong with the employees, boss, or the board, right? So the now question is that who actually shares who owns shares in these big pharmaceutical companies? It's the rich. Yeah, so the student said it's the rich. But the author says no, it's someone who wants good return from their money, and they want stable income, right? And they want their money to be stable in a situation where it is stable. So it's the retirement funds which actually goes there. So the author said okay, do one thing, next time you visit your grandma, punch her in the face, because these are the people who put their retirement funds on the pharma companies, and they expect good returns out of them, because and also they want this stability in their income, because a lot of even shares going down in other places, pharmaceutical shares don't generally go down in that way, because people get sick, and people there are constantly in the healthcare, people are taking actions. So that's the thing. And there was a huge silence after that. So uh, author said that okay, maybe you took some money for the travel from your grandma when you last visited her. Give that money back to your grandma, or if you have spent that money, punch yourself in the face, right? So yeah. I want to quote one thing here. It seems that it comes very naturally for us to decide that when things go wrong, it must be because of some bad individual with bad intentions. We like to believe that things happen because someone wanted them to, that individuals have power and agency. Otherwise, the world feels unpredictable, confusing, and frightening. So, we always try to blame others if something really happens to us, even if it is because of us, right? So, that really happens. That is actually the blame instincts. So sometimes we think of some specific group or people or a business as a evil, that we think that these businesses are evil, this person is evil, and these are the group that is evil, that's why that something can't really progress. So there is a case with author that really happened, is like UNICEF was making tablets for malaria, and because UNICEF make a contract for 10 years, so they actually make huge contracts, and a lot of company bid for them, so that they need to put their bid that how much price they are going to take over the 10 years. So a lot of people give a lot of small bids, because the smaller the bids, it's higher the chances the company will be selected, and it's profitable for the company as well, because UNICEF is going to be with them for a longer period of time. So there was a company, there was a pharma company which gave a bid which was much lower than the raw material price. So the price of the raw material of the medicine was higher than their bid, right? So how they were able to actually give this such a lower bid? So the author was constantly thinking that, okay, I'm going to unreveal some secrets about this pharma company, how this pharma company is evil, and all of the stuff that is on their mind. So when he went to the survey to the finance company, to the pharma company, he met the manager, and he asked the manager that, okay, you get the raw material from the same place like Hungary, from the same place like all the other companies does, right? So how can you give a lower rate than that, right? So lower lower rate than the the raw material. Is Hungarians giving you discounts? So with in that the business the manager said that no, Hungarians are not giving us discounts or anything like that. They are selling the price at the same price that they used to sell to other people as well. So he said that the reason I could we could able to provide this discount is provide this lower bid is the reason is like when we ship the business to the uh, when we ship the medicines to the UNICEF, the moment it reaches there, it they give me the money in 4 days, right? But Hungarians give us the credit for 30 days. For 26 days the money is lying there in our bank account, and we earn interest on it, right? So, and also our technology is so much better than the other pharma companies. A lot of things are automated here. It's not like that we need to use a lot of manual stuff, so a lot of things are automated there. So we save some cost there as well. So that's the thing. Here author said that my mind had been blocked with the idea that UNICEF were the good guys and pharma were the bad guys with an evil plot. So I had been completely ignorant about the innovative power of small businesses. They turned out to be good guys too, with a fantastic ability to cheaper solutions, right? So sometimes we block our mind. We think that, okay, something that is going on, it's not really right, until unless we really reach there and try to understand and evaluate the situation, that what's really happening there. So that's how we actually play the blame game, and we give the blames to other, that the journalist is not working right, the business is be evil, that's why this is happening. They are maybe earning a lot of money, they are maybe leaking a lot of money to other businesses, and that's why the economy is going down, GDP is going down. So that's the blame game that we always like to play, and that's really happened. So here is a example from the journalist as well. So let's go ahead and read this. So the point of the actual point of all this was like he did a poll. The author Hans Rosling did a poll with the journalists and the documentarians who make documentaries and filmmakers. So he saw that a lot they perform, far they perform worse than the chimpanzees and the general public, right? In the quizzes, so they don't have much idea about the worldview which is currently right now, and it is so when we so here is a thing that I have marked as well. So when we think that they produce this dramatic reports that world is getting words with the piano playing music in the background, we should not blame them, because they also have this misleading idea about the world. They don't know much about the world, so their intention is not bad. Whatever they know is not really right, not right data that is there in their mind. So they're doing for the good intention, but they just don't have the right correct data, and they are just misled, right? So that's why the we should not like blame the journalist as it is. So we should understand that they are not always doing it for the for a bad intention. So that's the thing, and they are misled, and we need to keep putting effort to them so that they understand more about the world, right? And we should also start to understand the world for the better, right? So there was a immigration policy um, where people were not able, so that's the reason people, refugees, when people were not able to go to the take the plane and go to the European countries. So the reason is that when he asked this question, that why do you think that they can't really go, so a lot of people have this distorted idea of like they were saying like they can't really afford a ticket, so the ticket must be very expensive. Then the author went online and see that the ticket just was cost around 50 euros, where people were saying that that is 1000 euros for each plane ticket, but it's not. So and maybe there is they maybe then he thought that maybe they could not reach the airport, but that's not the case. A lot of people were living nearby the airport. So then what was the reason? So then he came to know that people in the airport, they could not let them in because of the policy of the Geneva. So yeah, that's the reason because here is the one thing I want to quote from this is says that we have an instinct to find someone to blame, but we rarely look in the mirror. I think smart and kind people often fail to reach the terrible, guilt-inducing conclusion that our own immigration policies are responsible for the downing of refugees, right? So we can't, sometimes we, our eyes and brain is so much blocked with something that we can't really see that what's really actually happening in the world. And even if we are kind-hearted, and we understand that okay, something is going wrong with some people, but still we can't really see that, right? So here is a great example. I had no idea that this kind of things are happening. I'm going to read the uh, read it from the book as it is, because it's really important to know. And here he gave us a reminder that about the thing that there was a India and China conference that were going on, where the blame came to the India and China for the most CO2 emissions, and they were blamed by the Western countries that they actually emit a lot of CO2 in the environment. So that's why it's really harmful for the environment, and they should be responsible for that, right? But the guy who represent India, he said that no, just calculate it based on the how much people that we have in the India, and how much people do you have in the Western countries. So just calculate the percentage depending upon the per person, right? So calculate the CO2 per person, so that's when you get the actual number, right? So here is the thing. So I want to read it from the book as it is. So most of the human emitted CO2 accumulated in the atmosphere was emitted over the last 50 years by countries that are now level 4. Canada's per capita CO2 emissions are still twice as high as China's, and 8 times as high India's. So in fact, do you know how much of the all the fossil fuel burned each year is burned by the richest billion more than half of it. So a lot of the coal actually burned by the level 4 countries that lives on a very higher level income. So Canada's CO2 is much more higher than the CO2 emissions are much more higher than the China and India itself. So a lot of richest people who can burn a lot of coal, they are doing it, and richest countries has the more they should take the more responsibility in that area, right? So a lot of Western countries to be blamed for the coal emissions, so CO2 emissions, right? So because a lot of richest countries actually actually are responsible for this. So he said another thing here is like West seem to shift responsibility away from ourselves onto others. We say that they cannot live like us. The right thing is to say we cannot live like us. So that's the thing. Western countries actually blame that a lot of other blame this to a lot of other countries that they are responsible for this, but it's not the case, like always, right? Here is a very nice story, I would say, about the disease. That is a foreign disease. So it is called the syphilis. Maybe you have heard about it, and I have actually read it on my school. So so syphilis is a very uh, stupid disease, I would say. It actually gives you a lot of pain. So first thing is like it happens starts from the skin and it goes all the way through the bones and then the skeleton, and eventually it kills you at some point. So the point here is like this disease has a lot of names depending upon where depending upon the country. So in Russia it was called the Polish disease. So in Poland it was German disease. In Germany it was called French disease, and in France it was called Italian disease, and Italians blamed back calling it the French disease, right? So we have this instinct of always finding someone and blame others. So right, so we have been doing it for a quite a long period of time, and we still do that. Blaming actually does not work it does not work in anyone's favor, actually, I would say. Yeah, maybe some people are responsible for some stuff, but what blaming actually brings, so we need to take responsibility. We need to understand the things better, that what actually happens to be the cause, so we can find it. Because in the coronavirus time a lot of people actually blames China for these pandemic, and I sometimes also believe that my belief is also based on the media and my friends or the people nearby me or the social media that I see. So they always keep telling me this the kind of thing. I have never researched about that how this thing actually happened, so maybe there are some videos out there as well, but in somewhere I also believe that, so I also put this blame for this, right? So we have been doing this and we are still doing it, so that's the blame instinct actually, right? So here's the thing. Um, if we put our if we think that a powerful leader or something with powerful moral can change a lot of billions of people, the thing is that they don't have any remote control to do this, right? So here is the thing. When most people asked and the why the birth numbers in Asia is getting lower, a lot of people actually answered that it is because of the one child policy, right? But the author said that why don't you see the graph, man? That is for the 10 years, women are producing less babies around the time, right? So that's the reason actually that the number is getting decreased. It's not because of the mouse one policy or one child policy, right? And also there are some Catholic uh, 1 billion Catholics in this world is actually believe on the Pope. So whatever the Pope says is actually they implement in their life. So uh, so they Pope actually emphasizes on the fact that on the good sexual practices, right? But in the major Catholic countries, the contraceptive use is like 58%, but other countries it is like 60%. So even where there is a good amount of leaders with great morals, they don't have, the thing is that they don't have any remote control to change all the people, right? So that's the thing that has been saying there. So we can't really reach sit in our bedroom and put some buttons in our remote control and think that people will change. It's not like that. It does not work like that, right? We can't really change people like that. That would have been good. No, it's not. It's not. he said, the author has to say that mouse children one child policy is actually going increased a lot of unknown number of forced abortion and forced sterilizations. So where the abortion is banned, the abortion is actually happening more because of this one child policy, right? So that actually risks the woman from die. As a result, the woman can die as well. So actually puts the woman at risk, this one child policy though. So that's what the author has to say. So here's the thing, we can see different things in a different perspective or view. That's really important, that we see the bigger picture, that what's really happening. We should not narrow or we should not go for like horse vision that is already in front of our eyes. So we need to see beyond that as well. So we may see that okay, the world population is rising, but it's not, it's actually stabilizing, and it will be stabilized, right? And if we freak out and we say okay, there is obviously the population is going high if we compare it, but it is actually getting stabilized, right? But if we freak out and we say okay, let's go for the one child policy here, so things are not going to be like normal. So there will be a lot of problem because of that. There will be a lot of abortion which will be forced, which is right now actually banned, so or illegal, I would say. So that's the thing that is going to constantly happen. A lot of women's health and safety issues will be at risk as well due to that. So yeah, that's just does not work in this way, right? So actually here is it is the thing about us, we should be celebrating here, right? Why? The reason is, here is a great story. Sometime when I turn the water on to wash my face in the morning and warm water comes out just like magic, I silently praise those who made it possible, the plumbers, right? So the author is saying that a lot of people like civil servants, nurses, teachers, lawyers, police officers, firefighters, electricians, accountants, receptionists, all the people are actually building societies. We are actually building societies. So these are all the invisible people, right? So we are invisible. My name is not coming out, your name is not coming out doing the service that you are doing for the people or the client that you have, and maybe your client is doing also a service to the country or the community, but his name is not coming out. But the thing is that they are invisible, and we are the invisible actually people are working like a web. So and we are actually we actually make up the society's instructions, society's institutions, right? So we are the people we need to celebrate actually, if thinking that something is really going well in the world, and if something goes really well, and we should focus much more in the positive impact. Also we should know the negative and we should celebrate the positive as well, right? So yeah, this made me very happy that author has talked about a lot of all the people in general. It's not about the leaders only who can make impact. He's talking about all the people that actually makes up this society. So it's not the leader who made up the society. It's us that make up our society. If we do our job better, then things are going to be better in the genre that we are actually working on, right? So I think we should give our best in any case, whatever the thing that we are doing. Even if I am doing this live for 30-day reading challenge, and but I am devoted to it, I always look at the camera, that whether it is correct angle or not, people can see me correctly or not. So if we can see the pages, things like that. So I've also set up this mic and everything, so I just try to make it look like that. Okay, I've been putting, actually I've been putting effort here, so it's not like that I'm not devoted towards it. I am giving my 100% here. I will give more if it is required, right? So yeah, a bird was flying in front of my window here. He like says, hey, hi, you're saying the right thing. So if you're watching me for 2-3 days, maybe more, you can follow me on Instagram, and you can also subscribe my channel on YouTube, that is called ImpleBooks. And also I'm available on Instagram. I post a lot of pictures and videos nowadays on Instagram, especially Reels. I really love the Reels feature of Instagram, and I also put my favorite quotes from books on the ImpleBooks and Twitter. So yeah, and all the things are automatically posted on my Facebook page, which I really quite like, because Facebook is good for posting such things like that. And also I really go to the live at Twitch as well. So if you want to see me live, if you can't really see me anywhere, you can go to the Twitch. I'm available, right? With Twitch is actually for the gaming people, but I do that. Who cares? Right? Actually, I had this idea when I saw Ali Abdal. He's a productivity guru. So he actually live stream his note-taking journey on the Twitch. So from that I had this idea, okay, let's stream this on Twitch as well. Actually, I go to the live as on Periscope as well, because it is connected to my Twitter account, and I have seen some viewers coming in. They don't stick to it, but it works. Anyways, let's come to the book. I was out of the topic today. Okay. So he said that the Ebola virus was not actually, fight with Ebola virus actually was not, really won by all the, just the leader. So it was all the people who actually worked towards it, like brave people, brave servant who actually forms the society, public health workers, all of the stuff. They are actually worked day in and day out, and also they were brave, because Ebola actually spread from one people to another. It's like a coronavirus, but but the disease is much chaotic. If you have Google it, you will know. So so that was Ebola. And in our coronavirus time, also we should be thankful to all the people who are out there and still running the society, still running our world as it is. So yes, there are a lot of impacts. There are a lot of job has been lost. A lot of people has been lost their job, and a lot of people maybe lost their family as well. So there are bad things happened, and it happened. But I'm just saying that how many people actually have worked toward it to actually make it a better place, and a lot of people are working there to run the place. So suppose my friends on the bank, they have to go to the bank. It doesn't really matter what is the lockdown or whatever the situation is. They have to go to the bank, because bank is the one place where people may need money anytime. So especially in the times like this, so bank is always open, right? So my friends who work for bank, they have to go there, and they are doing their job. Even simple people like doing their job as well. So they need to put their health at risk, and their family at risk as well, because coronavirus spread so very fast, right? But still people are doing that, and we should be thankful, and we should be celebrating together that we are fighting it. And hopefully the vaccine will come. I don't know when, but we hope that it will come soon. Sooner the better. So you can think a lot of beautiful thing about technology as well, right? So he was when the author was 4 years old, they brought a washing machine to their home, and her grandmother was like mesmerized to see this magical machine, and she, sit through the entire washing cycle in front of the machine, because she was so mesmerized that how this thing is actually happening. It is doing all that stuff by electricity, right? So all the things that she used to do in her entire lifetime, she used to do with her hand, like washing cloths and heating in a stove, and it is changing by the electricity, and things are really beautiful in this case, right? So, and also mothers, so here is the thing I want to read from as it is. So he said, "It was a miracle for my mother and me too. It was a magic machine, because that very day my mother said to me, 'Now, Hans, we have loaded the laundry. The machine will do the work. So now we can go to the library.'" Right? It in went the laundry, and out came books. Right? Thank you, industrialization. Thank you, steel mill. Thank you, power station. Thank you, chemical processing industry, for giving us the time to read books. 2 billion people today have enough money to use a washing machine and enough time for mothers to read books, because it is almost always the mothers who do the laundry, right? So this is our mothers most of the time who do the actual laundry, right? So they don't get this, so they can't really utilize that time for other works, right? So now they can read more books, right? And follow ImpleBooks maybe. So go ahead and do that. So thank you so much, and let's just read. So here is the thing: unless you are willing to forego all these things and start hand washing your jeans and your bed sheets, why you should expect them to, instead of finding someone to blame and expecting them to take responsibility. What we need in order to save the planet from the huge risk of climate change is a realistic plan. We must put our efforts into inventing new technologies that will enable 11 billion people to live the life that we should expect all of them to strive for. The life we are living now on level 4, but with smarter solutions, right? So we should be striving towards becoming a person who can solve something for this world, instead of just searching for that what we can what is instead of just putting blames into others. So we should think like that, right? So here's the thing. Yeah, let's go ahead and mark it here. So resist the urge to blame the media for lying to you, or for giving you a skewed worldview. Resist blaming experts for focusing too much on their own interests and specializations, or for getting things wrong, actually, which sometimes they do, but often with good intentions. In fact, resist blaming any one individual or group of individuals for anything, because the problem is that when we identify the bad guy, we are done thinking, right? and it's almost always more complicated than that. It's almost always about multiple interacting causes, a system. If you really want to change the world, you have to understand how it actually works and forget about punching anyone in the face. So when we blame someone, we are done here. We stop thinking that, okay, we found the culprit, okay, that's it, we're done. So it's not like that. Think more than that, that what we can do to actually solve the problem, right? So we need to actually understand that, okay, if we really if we really want to change the world, we need to understand that how this world actually works in terms of that. Then, and instead of just finding someone and punching them in the face, hey, you are the culprit, right? So we should not do that. So to control our control this, it is the summary of blame instinct. So look for causes, not villains. When something goes wrong, don't look for an individual or a group to blame, except that bad things can happen without anyone intending them to. Instead, spend our energy on understanding the multiple interesting causes or system that created the situations. Because when something bad happens, this is not the only thing that really was the reason for this bad thing. So let me give you an example. Like when a case like rape happens, so it does not really because of that person who actually raped the victim, right? There can be multiple reasons according to that. Maybe the guy or the girl, the guy was not really educated who actually did this thing. The police did not work their shifts at that time at specific point. Maybe that area was not covered by the police as well. So the political parties were maybe intervening as well. So political parties had no interest putting their people or the police there, right? So a lot of factors can be there, and with that, and also maybe the guy that brought up in the place, they actually the friends, their circle was not really good, because the parents did not take responsibility for them. Maybe because they had no money, they had to put their child away from them a lot of times. So the child actually born and brought up in areas where they did not learn to respect women. So there are a lot of factors that can accumulate together. So he said that, okay, do not find a cause or a villain and just find the rapist and like do one thing, hang him in front of the public. That's not going to solve any problem, man. I have seen people seeing this in the social media. They're like, okay, just do this, and the rapist will stop raping. It's not, they are not going to stop this way, right? It's not like a remote control that you have, okay, put him in the hang him in the public, and everything is like stop. It's not like that. It's not going to happen like this. We should focus on other factors, right? We should for that, how can we focus on these other factors? We need to understand how this world works. We need to understand what are the factors that actually are happening, because actually was there because that rape cases happen, right? So that's really important that we understand this. And yeah, so another thing is that look for systems, not heroes, right? When someone claims to have caused something good, ask whether the outcome might have happened anyway, even if that individual had done nothing. Give the system some credit. So look for system. So we need to find system that actually runs this. So instead of finding that specific leader, this is the leader that is actually running our country. It's not like that. A lot of people are working together to make the country, make our society, make this world look beautiful. We may say that a lot of things are not getting improved in this world, but the world is running. See, you're seeing in your, maybe you're watching this video, maybe you're not, maybe you're just sitting in your bedroom and just lying and watching some videos and thinking about the world is getting worse, but it's not. It is in a situation that is not better as well, but it is getting improved. That's the thing, right? So find the system, not the heroes, right? And yep, so with that, we are at the last chapter of today, that is chapter 10, and as a ritual, I'm going to again see that how many pages we have left here. Okay, that is 243, 242. Okay, so okay, so we have only around 19 pages here to read. So yeah, we have completed like half today. Okay, I'm going to complete around at 8 a.m. today. So right. So here he given an example of it's a story actually that really happens to him with the Hans Rosling. So he was um, there was a new disease that were going up because of uh, so let's not talk about in detail. So there was some disease which was not actually that much to worry about, but what they did is they do the road blocking, so people can't really enter from one area to another. So but still a lot of people actually tried to enter, but so that they could not enter. Say they tried the sea path and they drowned because there was some problem. So a lot of actually he said that a lot of countries or the cities actually take decisions like this. So they think that okay, something is really going on, so we should when the Ebola outbreak actually happened, the richest people thinks that okay, let's do the road blocking. If it is otherwise it will be a pandemic, so let's just block the road urgently as soon as possible. But this has some bad impacts as well. It actually take more lives sometimes than it should, because people are really going to try to actually uh, go to this go to that place, and it has impact to the economy as well. The prices are going to skyrocket and a lot of people can't really afford this. So that was the reason actually that brought another disease that he faced a lot of years ago, actually brought up in the world because of some leaves they used to leaf root that they used to have as a food. And because in the Ebola outbreak time the road was blocked and the prices were skyrocketing, they had to eat those leaves root again, and which caused this kind of paralysis and the blindness as well. So one disease actually causing another disease, but indirectly. So that's actually I think happened in the coronavirus time as well, right? So a lot of things were like blocked. A lot of people died because they could not afford to go there, or go there in a right place at the right amount of time. A lot of children has been dead as well because the medical emergency were not really equipped, or they were like they were in this urgent mode that okay, we're not going to do anything about it, right, until and unless you checked something specific stuff and anything like that. This kind of things happened, I think. So this is called the urgency instinct. So let's go ahead and see that what this urgency instinct is in more details, right? Because urgency instinct is the final instinct. So let's go ahead and see how it is. Here is a great thing. Like salespeople and the salesperson, that really maybe happened to you, that because maybe that's also happened to me as well. So people try to put these things like okay, this is buy this urgently, the sale is going to over in 2 days, the sale is going to over in 1 hour, so please go ahead, and lightning deals are happening in Amazon every time. So these are all the things that creates this urgency. So if you just wait a minute, wait for a day or a 2 day, you will get the lightning deal on Amazon again on the same product. So it's not really something that is urgent. They create this urgency so that product sale actually goes up because there are some lightning deals, and lightning deals are amazing. So we go for things like that. But the truth is not that we should, nothing is urgent, you can wait. He says that it's almost never that urgent, and it's almost never an either or. You can put the book down if you like and do something else. In a week or a month or a year, you can pick it up again and remind yourself of its main points, and it won't be too late. So if I want, he's saying that if you want, you can put the throw the book somewhere else, and you can read the book after a month or a week or a year, and remind of its main points, right? But you're not never going to be late, right, if you do this. So that is actually a better way to learn than trying to cram it all at once, right? So that's actually says that it is a better way to learn, right? So yeah. So our ancestors actually had this urgency, because you don't know when there will be a lion or a tiger who is waiting for you to waiting for you just to eat you, right? So but this kind of urgency does not exist in today's world. Yes, there is some urgency, maybe there's some car is passing by and you can't really cross the road. These are the urgency that we have right now, but we are actually dealing with a lot of complex problems nowadays, which does not take much this much urgency. So we need to think through it very with a calm mind. So here is the thing: we do not seem to have a similar instinct to act when faced with risks that are far off in the future. In fact, in the face of future risk, we can be pretty slothful. That is why so few people save enough for their retirement. So we don't think about much future risks, so we just think about, we have this horse vision and we think that, okay, so what is going to happen next, so what can we do to solve this specific problem. We don't see the future thing. So that's why a lot of people actually save less money for their retirement as well, because there are a lot of great options like mutual funds nowadays, and it's so easily available that but people don't do this, right? So we as a people don't do this. So it's really important that you do this. We understand the future, that how it's going to, it should not live in the future, but you need to understand, okay, there is a future, and that is the thing, I'm doing it for the future, but I'm not living in the future, I'm living in the past. So living the present, right? So if you just set up something for your future, you don't need to think about the future itself. So you are actually stopping your mind to think about the future, because if you don't save up, someday you will have this thought that, okay, what I will do if something goes wrong, what I will do when after the retirement, what I will do if a disease comes, what I will do, right? So where you are living now, present or future. So set up something for the future, make yourself something, so that your future is like saved, so you don't have to think about it, right? And then live on the present moment is the best moment. So do anything that really helps you to actually secure your future, right? Then live on the present, right? That's what I think actually. So it's not written in the book. Why I'm giving you some philosophical lecture here, I don't know. Okay, anyways. Excuse me. So he said in terms of like urgency, so instead of creating fear in in the and urgency, we should like do a mid forecast. We should something find something in the middle, and also show alternate possibilities, right, from best to worst, right. That what we can do to actually solve that problem, right. So and we should see that we should round the number to our disadvantage as well. Like we should understand that if we do this, that is our disadvantage. What it will do is it will save our reputation, and also people will listen to us more. And if we see and say something like that is the world is in danger and we need to take this much steps, that is so much drastic, people are not going to listen to it, honestly speaking. So we need to find something in the midway, and we need to also discuss our disadvantage, and we need to give more options like best to worst, what we can do, and give people a reason to stop, so and give people a reason to that, so that people can actually listen to us, right. Yeah. So here is the thing, activists actually do generate fear to actually fight the climate changes as well. So he said that instead of doing this fearful things, teach more people about the CO2 to learn, use campaigns where people are encouraged to use less CO2 emit less CO2 if possible. But and he also said that but the activist says that this is the actually way to get the people to work, and otherwise people are not going to listen to or do anything. But author has to say a very nice thing about it here. He said that if we keep doing this thing, we will lose the trust of the people, and people will never trust us. And it is really important for the very serious issues like climate change, that people really trust us, so we can take decisions that is helpful for our community, right? So he said that it's very important that we do something that actually is good and people really can trust us, right? So that's the thing. So when the Ebola outbreak happens, people who were working on the ground, they needed more fund, and it is obvious. He said that they should not be doing, researching that what is the data and whether the numbers are falling or or rising. They will want more data because they want to solve the problem at hand. They are problem solvers, so they will obviously ask for this data, ask for more funds. But he's saying that it's not about like giving them more funds. It's like about the redirecting the money to something where there is no need of that, right? So you are just wasting that money to something that is then there is no need. So when he actually find out the data, he saw that Ebola was increasing, and also he found that it was then after some analysis he found that it is also falling from the outbreak time it actually happened. So he saw that there is not much fund actually needed there, but they needed more fund. So that is the case. He said that we should focus on the the whole data that is really happening also. So here is the thing that I want to read, that is really very you know uh, in today's time, in this pandemic of coronavirus. I think it's really important, and I'm just going to read it as it is from this book. It says that data was absolutely key, and because it will be the key in the future too, when there is another outbreak somewhere, right? I'm going to read it again. Data was absolute key, and because it will be the key in the future too, when there is another outbreak somewhere. It's already happened, right? It is crucial to protect its credibility and the credibility of those who produce it. Data must be used to tell the truth, not to call to action, no matter how noble the intentions. So we can't really produce data and say that, hey, this is the data that you see, the earth is going to be destroyed if it is going like this, you should take action right now. So if we keep doing these things, that will generate fear, but after some point people will stop believing, and they will stop contributing to the cause. So we need to um, give this data not to call to action, just but to show that, okay, this is the truth that's really there. So that should be the use of the data, right? Okay, urgent, read this now. Okay, this is urgent, let's read. So uh, he mentioned the Spanish flu, and if you don't know, the coronavirus is a type of, it's kind of like a Spanish flu. It works same, like it's like a flu, coronavirus. So it spread through the droplets of our breath, or if we sneeze, or puts, or cough, right? So that is the way actually Spanish flu used to spread, and they said that it's much more a threat to human disease like Ebola or HIV/AIDS. But author has to say a really nice thing, that it killed almost like 50 million people, more than the world war actually had, right? So the author said that for the after the war, the life expectancy was really low, because people were really tired, or they didn't have much immunized to things because of this war. So a lot of people actually dies because of this as well, because there was not much immunity to fight the flu. Like, as you know, that in the coronavirus also we need this immunity. So yeah, yes, we need to take precautions a lot, but you need that immunity to fight the virus if you catch it somehow, right? So it's really important that you have. So that he said that it is also has a factor, right? Like in the world, after the world war, people really didn't have this immunity, right? Okay. Thank you so much for watching me still. I don't know how many people actually watched this live stream, but I'm really happy that I've been doing this. And honestly, guys, I feel really energized after I finished the reading, and I feel that okay, I had done something. It's not like eating the frog. I really like and enjoy reading. So you might be seeing a lot of time I have a smile on my face, because I really like, I really enjoy reading. So yeah, it doesn't really matter if something really makes me sad also. I really enjoy this sometime also, but the reason is like I enjoy reading itself. I enjoy the process. It doesn't really matter what I'm reading. Yeah, I read mostly non-fiction. So but I'm also entering into the zone of fiction as well, so you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, to understand that what I am doing currently. So yeah, thank you so much. So let's go ahead and read. And if you have any comments, please put them below. After the live stream, I will surely attend all the comments there, right? So it is a nice thing that, but out of emergency, we can't really say people in the level 1 that hey, stop using electricity. Like so it is the level 4 actually who is using the most electricity. So we can't really stop CO2 emissions like this way. So he's saying that okay, we need to in terms of emergency, we can't really, in terms of urgency, we can't really behave like this. We have the tendency to behave like this, but we should not, right? Okay. So he said that we should not feel ignorant that okay, there are 800 million people are still living in the poverty, so we need to understand that as well. So we are not like ignoring this fact. We know that a lot of people are a lot of people are not living in this extreme poverty, but there are some 800 million people left as well. So we need to work for them. And here is a nice thing I want to quote from this book. It says the next generation is like the last runner in a very long relay race. The race to end extreme poverty has been a marathon with the starter gun fired in 1800. This next generation has the unique opportunity to complete the job, to pick up the baton, cross the line and raise its hands in triumph. The project must be completed and then we should have a big party, and when we are done, right? So we should have a party when we are done with making everyone out of the extreme poverty, right? So yeah, that's amazing, right? So we need to work together to actually achieve that. So he said that I don't tell you not to worry, I tell you to worry about the right things. So here is the thing. So we should not be feel urgent about all the thing. Worry about the right thing only, right? And I hope my screen is properly visible. I'm not sure though. Okay. So it's the last last page of this chapter for today. So it's almost 8 a.m. in the morning. So yeah. So to control the urgency instinct, I'm gonna read it as it is. Take a breath. When your urgency instinct is triggered, your other instincts kick in and your analysis shut down. Ask for more time and more information. It's really now or never. It's really either or. So there is not like urgency. You just need to breathe in and breathe out and see what are the possibilities, and you need to analyze the situation, right? It's not like that a car is coming out and you can't really cross the road. This is not this kind of urgency where you need to take complex decision, complex understanding is required. There is no urgency. You just take your time, breathe in and breathe out, and start analyzing the situation, right? Insist on the data. If something is urgent and important, it should be measured. Beware of data that is relevant but inaccurate, or accurate but irrelevant, right? Relevant but inaccurate, or accurate but irrelevant. Only relevant and accurate data is useful. So always ask for data which is relevant and accurate as well, right? So beware of fortune tellers. Any prediction about the future is uncertain. Be wary of prediction that fail to acknowledge that. Instead, insist on a full range of scenarios, never just the best or worst case. Ask how often such predictions have been right before. So if someone says that okay, that is going to happen in the future, and ask them that how many times that you made this kind of prediction and that were right. So you ask for this kind of data. It will make you understand that whether this situation is likely going to happen in the future or not, and you can better understand it with the specific amount of data. Be wary of drastic action. Ask what the side effects will be. Ask how the data idea has been tested. Step by step practical improvements and evaluation of their impact are less dramatic but usually more effective. So ask for how this thing has been tested and what will be the impact after evaluation, because if you do something, what will be the impact after the 10 years? So if you just block the road today, how it will impact the others? So that is the urgency impact. And tomorrow we are going to read a very interesting chapter that is called the Factfulness in Practice, and that is the one chapter that we are going to read tomorrow, guys. And I'm very happy that we are done through the day 20, and I'm quite excited that if you're still here, so thank you so much again. And if you're reading with me, please let me know that how you're reading this book, and whether you're reading this whether you're enjoying this book or not, or maybe if you're reading some other books, please comment below that what are the books that you're currently reading. And And I don't know whether you where you are actually watching the live stream, because I live stream this video on my YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitch, and Periscope. And also you can follow me on ImpleBooks and Instagram, because I post a lot of pictures and videos of very motivational videos sometime as well. And I also on the Twitter, where I post my favorite quotes from the amazing books that I have been reading quietly. And on the Facebook, I post everything. So if you want everything of all, just follow me on Facebook, like my page on Facebook, ImpleBooks, and Twitch is always there. So if you want to see me live streaming anytime, so you can go ahead and follow me on Twitch. And thank you so much again for watching me, and have a good day.